मधानिया हाय ओ मेरे डाडे यार रब्बा
Hi, Jonita. Welcome to DissDash. I am super excited to welcome you. First of all, I want to say, you know, as a female artist who is just relentless, your music is amazing.
I like that word, relentless.
You are though, because I feel like you keep coming, like we hear one good song and we're like, all right, that's great. And then you come out with the next one and then the next one.
That's what I gotta do. It's the only way I stay alive.
Talk to me before we get into your singles and your collaborations. Talk to me a little bit about your journey.
Oh, my journey has been very colorful. It's been a little, I think, unique from where it's begun and how the way it's blossoming and it's growing. I think it's been a long time coming that I'm working on my own project now because I've come from doing covers on YouTube and then I've done a lot of playback singing in the film industries across India. And now to put my own project out there, it's a whole new world and I'm here for it. It's really fun. It's exhilarating, to be honest.
Do you feel as a female there are a lot more challenges, if any?
I do. You know how it is across industries. I won't say just the entertainment industry, but I think across all industries, female representation is always a little less. It's always a little harder to get your voice heard and get equal access to opportunities across the board. So, but especially in the entertainment world, I feel it is a man's world, and I mean we're making definitely strides in progress, and I'm trying to do what I can to kind of push more female empowerment in music forward.
So how does a girl from Delhi coming to Canada, get into music? How did that happen for you?
I think it was inevitable because music has kind of been in my blood. No one in my family is professionally a musician or a performer, but my dad has always been excited about music and he's always kind of played guitar or keyboards and stuff like that alongside being an engineer. So similarly, I grew up, going to school and like deciding I'm gonna maybe go to med school or maybe pursue business or whatever it is. But music was always something I would have on the side, and I knew I would take it with me where I would go. But the way that it became my bread and butter and the way that it became my full-time job, I had no idea that that was gonna happen.
It's funny because a lot of people go that safe route, doctor, engineer, especially with
Yeah.
applications. And then, we put our passion to the side, and very few are actually, able to make a living out of it. So, at what point did you decide that, okay, I'm going to fully pursue this?
I think it was when I started to see my early success, like when I decided that, okay, well, I can make money from this. Because I remember my parents were like, you need to get a degree, you need to have like a solid background plan, backup plan. And that's why I studied and I made sure I completed my education before I did any of this full time. And then it was like a trial and error thing for me. Initially, I decided I'd take a year and go to India and see what the scene is there and whether I'd be able to make any progress or meet people and like make music or make it as a playback singer. And there's a lot of competition out there and it's like a cutthroat industry. So I definitely kept my expectations super low. And everything that happened was, I felt like a bonus. It felt amazing. And I realized, okay, I think it's possible. And that's when I decided I would spend more time there. And I just kind of never looked back.
Out of your collaborations, which ones do you think, kind of helped you get to the next level?
I think there's a lot of like milestone type collaborations. I've learned something from everything, but I think the first big one is my association with AR Rahman that happened through his discovery of me online. I think he found like a cover of me singing a Christmas carol or something, and his team reached out like a year later, or like not even a year, sorry, I think like a month later or something. And then I started recording with him. I started touring with him. And I think that was kind of the start of this beautiful journey that is continuing even now. I learned so much from working with him, and I also like learned that I'm good at like picking up languages or singing in different languages rather, because he introduced me to like Kollywood and singing in Tamil and stuff like that. And I think now like a huge part of my fan base is South Indian, and I'm so grateful for all of that. So Yeah, it's been crazy the way like one thing leads to another. And then more recently, I started collaborating more in the independent space, in the non-film space. I did a few songs with Singh and Treehouse, which were really, really like eye-opening experiences for me. Doing kind of urban Punjabi music and letting my personality shine a little more. And then I did a song with Divine, a song called Sitara, where I wrote the melody on the hook. And so I was kind of like getting more into the creative space and creation space, and not just the work for hire, show up to the studio, learn the song that they tell you to sing and record it, you know? So I think those are the ones that kind of made me transition into where I am now.
I feel like I saw you doing something with Sanjoy also, right?
Yeah, do you know Sanjoy?
He's a good friend of mine, yeah.
Oh my God. So Sanjoy, actually, good thing you brought him up. He has been a very instrumental part of my journey also, because before all the like Punjabi urban, like non-film stuff that I'm part of now, there was a time when I was on tour with AR Rahman, and he lives in LA and he has a studio there. So he invited me to come to studio and be part of a writing session. And I had never done that before. This is back in like 2017. And I think when I went to that session and jammed with other musicians and wrote music with them, it was like a whole eye-opening thing for me. It was like a whole new world, because I had never tried that before. And I was really intimidated by the process.
Right.
But Sanjoy made me feel really, really comfortable. And like all the people in the room were like so sweet. And I realized, okay, it's possible to like create something from scratch. And I can contribute to that. And I can have my thoughts come out as words and lyrics in a song and melodies. And it was just, I feel like life-changing. And so shout out to Sanjoy for putting me in that situation before anybody else did.
So when you're talking about, having that creative liberty, what's your process? Like, do you kind of like write things down, or what's your creative process?
I don't think I have like a go-to formula or anything like that, but my creative process is like introspection, because I've done so much work, and like sometimes I have to remind myself to reflect. And then I think that's where all the ideas are born. I think really hard about who I am, who I want to be, and what resonates with Jonita the human the most. And I think that's where all the creative stuff starts. And then I just try to make sure there's a little bit of me in everything I do.
Well, you're the first female for 91 North Records. How does that feel?
Oh, it's amazing. I'm so proud and honored to be the first female at 91 North. I'm sure there'll be many, many more. And I think this is like a whole wave and a whole movement that's being started. And 91 North is definitely one of the only ones doing it. And it's incredible, because I feel like there's so much love and support now for South Asians in music across the globe compared to what there was before. And like, I'm grateful to 91 North for giving South Asians that platform, you know what I mean? And believing in us to kind of like take us and our music and our stories to the world.
As an audience, it's so nice now that when we see our people, being represented, because growing up, it was always, the Britneys and the Madonnas, or, Ariana Grande, and now we see our people kind of, who are very talented, being given that opportunity. And I love the whole collaborative and the inclusion part of it.
Mm-hmm. It is great. It's really amazing. We didn't grow up seeing a lot of brown people in music or on TV or, at the Grammys or whatever, but it's all happening now. And there's so much more to come. And I'm just so happy to be part of it, because we have so much to say. And our culture is so rich, our traditions and everything. Like there's so much beauty and culture and art that we have to express.
Yeah, and I feel like, South Asians, we're pretty much taking over every arena little by little.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So tell me now about your EP. I'm excited, you collaborated with Ali Sethi. That's amazing. I'm a huge fan of his, and the song is just beautiful. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Love Like That is a 4-song EP, and it's titled after the song Love Like That, which is a collaboration with Ali Sethi. He is, like you said, incredible. I am a big fan of him as well, and I've kind of been waiting to work with him, and I feel like this was the perfect thing for us to work on, and it kind of brought out the best of me and him, and I think it's just like worlds colliding, but like fitting together so perfectly. Like, I know that's kind of like counterintuitive, but I don't know how else to describe it. And then I think I could say that a lot about all the songs on the project. What I'm trying to do is make all my worlds collide and bring them all together, and kind of give you a showcase of all my influences growing up, but also all the experiences I've had in the recent past also as an artist. And it's always been hard for me to zero in on who I am, and like, you know, the whole identity crisis thing of being in the diaspora and being like an immigrant and all that stuff. So I think this project is the beginning of a beautiful new journey, and it's bilingual. There's something in it for everyone.
Yep. Now talk to me about It Is What It Is. I love the whole Madania aspect to it, because that's such a classic song we've all kind of grown up listening to.
Madhania is, something I grew up listening to, not just at weddings though, just in general. Like Surinder Kaur songs would be playing, and her rendition also I've heard. Like it's been around, as you know, and it'll never get old. It's a classic, and I think the concept behind it is so powerful, and that's why. But I realized the notion of like bittersweet, growing pains, and having to like be brought up by one and then be taken away by another. Like there's definitely like a little bit of happiness and a little bit of sadness to it. And I think that's so relatable for like all big life changes for people, and not just marriage, but in general, like to progress in life and to move forward, you're always kind of leaving something behind. So I just loved that concept because it was so relatable, and we kind of took that and ran with it with the whole song, and included Madhania, of course, and then also wrote English and Punjabi verses around it. So
yeah, and you look beautiful in the video, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
How are your parents now that they see you've, come this far, you've got a huge fan following? What are their thoughts now?
I mean, my parents are my biggest fans, and they're my biggest supporters. You should see them at any event that I'm at. If I'm performing or doing something, like they're in the front. My dad will have his hand up recording everything on his phone. Like, it's honestly such a blessing to have them support me, because honestly, I would not have been able to do any of this. Like moving to India, having grown up in Canada, like without your parents' support, like I don't know how anyone would do that. They really, really helped me along the journey. Like my mom set me up in my first rental apartment and all those kind of things, right? So they're just really proud, and like it makes me so happy to see them be proud, because that's what I do it for, to be honest. And like what Madhania, I think It Is What It Is, that's probably their favorite track.
I can see why. Now, I mean, you've been there, done that. What are some words for, other aspiring artists that are up and coming?
I think one thing that I realized a little late in life that I would encourage other people to keep in mind is it's hard to avoid seeing everything else that's happening because of social media and everything. And it's so important for you to like see everything, but don't absorb it too much, and to kind of go on your own path and don't compare yourself to other people, because the thing that's going to make you shine is going to be all the things that make you you. It's not going to be the things that other people are doing. You know what I mean? So I still struggle with that right now. So to all aspiring artists out there, find the belief in you and zero in on what makes you you, and that's going to take you the furthest.
That's so important, and not just for artists. I think just for everyone. We all get so sucked in with social media and, oh, look what they're doing, and look what they're doing, and feeling that we have to constantly compete and be better.
Yeah, it's really tough. And it's like really like in your face. Like you said, you open Instagram, It's like, this is there. Blah, blah, blah. Mute who you have to mute. You know what I mean? Focus on what you're doing, because what you're doing is actually not what they're doing. So you can't be like, oh, they got that, I didn't get it, because like you're probably going to get something that's better or different. Like, so that's the thing. There's so many artists who are successful. Why would you want to be like them? You're trying to carve your own path. So
tell me something that no one knows about you. That no one knows about Jonita, the artist.
There's probably so much that no one knows about me. Like, I could go on, but there are probably things people don't want to know about me. Like, no one can. Okay, fun fact. One of my favorite artists is Beanie Man. Okay, he's like a dancehall artist, and I've met him before, and I got a shout out from him. That's a fun fact that you never knew about me.
I love that.
I used to have a hamster when I was a kid, and I love hamsters. Another fun fact you didn't know about me. There's so many things you probably don't care though, but
No, but this is fun. I love it. Well, Jonita, thank you so much for just taking the time out. I wish you the best And we're true followers and we'll keep supporting you because, as South Asian, especially South Asian women, we want to support each other as much as possible.
I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for having me and for supporting the music and for
Before
supporting.
you go, and this is with no pressure, of course, would you be okay singing a few verses?
Sure, I'll sing. Which one should I sing? Madhaniya, maybe?
Yeah, sure.
Madhaniya, hayo mere daade araba. It is what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is.
I got chills.
This is my morning voice still. I know it's like noon right now, but
I have chills. And the song always makes me so emotional for some reason.
it's so emotional. Even me, I'm starting to like maybe start getting desensitized because of all the times I have to hear the song.
Sure.
But like when I watch it wholeheartedly, it still makes me like tear up.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah. But thank you again, Jonita. I really enjoyed talking to you. And like I said, we want to continue supporting your journey whichever way we can.
Thank you so much. There's lots more to come.